I'm jealous, you're always with me. I'm jealous.
After we packed up camp, we made our way back out to Sherwood Road and we followed that all the way through to the town of Glenreagh. How's this for a cool little spot? Had a massive storm roll in last night as we were going to bed. We're just watching this thunder and lightning coming closer and closer to us. We're starting to freak out a little bit. It was going to absolutely annihilate us during the night. We went to bed and I don't know, it must have just missed us or gone past and never hit us last night. And then packed up camp this morning and now we're making our way out of here, this final part of this Sherwood Road into Glenreagh. Nothing too hard, but it's a good little drive. We've got this creek here we've just come across.
As you can see.
We're going to cool off here for a minute and then keep going. Today is going to be the hottest day of our trip. Today's up nearly 40 degrees. This is actually really soft through all this. It's like silky sand. These storms we've been having on this trip are just perfect for keeping the dust down and keeping the rivers flowing for swims. Another little creek just further along. All these creeks obviously flooding, not flooding, but got heaps of water in them after all these storms we've been having. After we came out of the bush, you arrive in the town of Glenreagh. We just stopped here now, aired up the tyres. Kai got an icy pole and chips with his $2 that he found yesterday, plus a little bit of extra money. That's actually where we camped last night, up there. So it wasn't too far down into here, but it's a good little drive down off the mountain there. We're gonna go have a look at this dog. Look at the big dog car.
Dingo.
Well, it says Golden Dog Hotel. Ready to go for a walk, dude? After we left Glenreagh, we came up through the town of Grafton, got some fuel there, and then from there we headed west out into the mountain ranges, and we're in the Washpool National Park at the moment. Pulled in off the highway to a walk out to a granite outcrop. I don't think there's heaps of four-wheel driving out here, but Dad's been here before, but Kai and I have never been here. Just came out for a look around, see what we can see. Now I think there's a waterfall a little bit further down as well. Made it to the lookout. Straight in. We came a little bit further into the national park further down the road, and then we saw a sign for Boundary Falls. Came in here for a look. Dad's car thermometer read 42 degrees before, so anything that says water, we're pretty keen to get down there and have a swim. I'd say this water will be a little bit cooler since we're high up in the mountain. It's a beautiful spot here. After a swim and a cool off at the waterfall, we headed towards the Old Grafton Road. We travelled along it for maybe about 10-15 minutes before I spotted a sidetrack. I'd been to this area once before, but hadn't done too much exploring, so we figured we'd head up for a look and see what we could find. Wasn't anything too hard. It was a great fun little drive through the bush. We've come in the Old Grafton Road. We're heading down to the Mann River to camp for the night tonight. It's not too far further past that Washpool National Park. It's on that road, the Gwyder Highway or whatever. You got a couple of national parks in there. So after we checked them out, those waterfalls and a couple of lookouts, we came along and then made the turn off into the Old Grafton Road, where you wind down the mountain onto the Mann River. Old Grafton Road is just a main road. It is tar all the way, I don't know, a fair bit of the way down the mountain now. We haven't hit the dirt yet, but and then it turns into a dirt road, and if you follow like the Old Grafton Road all along the dirt, all through the Mann River, through the valley there. We're just taking a bit of a side track on the way in, just have a bit of an explore, look around, see what we can see. Ended up being a bit of a fun four-wheel drive track, nothing too hard. It was a good little drive through the bush. We're sort of coming back out of it now, did a bit of a loop, coming back onto the main road, and then we're going to head down onto the river to camp for the night tonight. It's about a bit after 5 o'clock now. We got some clouds moving in again, so we might get another storm again tonight. We made it to our camp down on the Mann River. We found a good spot here. There's heaps of little spots all along the river. Once you first come down, there's about a K of spots. They actually recently did up the main area back there, and so I don't know, we kind of drove past. I've never actually been in there, but looked at it. They had a toilet there, they had a big stack of firewood, they had all fireplaces and picnic tables and everything set out for camp. So I'm not sure if that's a paid site or not, but we just came further up the river because there was a few people there just to get our spot to ourselves. It's still very hot at the moment, but today was the hottest day. We got another big storm moving in behind us now. Going to set up camp. Man, echidna. Oh, there he is. Echidna. What? He's taking cover.
Oh, he's getting his spike. Is he getting his spikes out more?
Yeah, he's defending himself in case we try and attack him. Step onto that one, it's not slippery. Yeah.
Go! I didn't go under yet!
Are you having fun, Kai?
Yeah.
We're just about to go to bed and this storm's really moving in. This has been every night the last 3 nights, these massive storms coming in at bedtime. The first night we got the soaking. Last night it only spring a little bit. Now it's starting to already rain and got thunder and lightning all around us. I'd say we're about to get smashed. Last night we spent the night out here near Glenreagh in that Sherwood Nature Reserve. When we came to that town, we went up to Grafton, and then from Grafton we head west out this wider highway, I think it is, out here, and this is where we were in the Washpool National Park. That's where that lookout was we were at, and that Boundary Falls where we had a swim. And then after that we continued along this road not too much further and took this turn off here. And that's the Old Grafton Road down through here, and this is where we're camped at the moment on the Mann River, the Mann River campground, not too far down off it. And then we're going to follow this road all the way back out, back up to here. We're going to take a turn off at Dalmorton and take this one up out through here. This morning we're going to go check out Tommy's Rock Lookout. It's a good 4-wheel drive track up to that, and then we'll keep following it all the way through to this Convict tunnel and check that out too. We're all packed up camp, we had a bit of a swim, we'll head off now. The drive up to Tommy's Lookout's a great drive, definitely worth doing if you're in the area. It's only a few k's long, and it's all pretty easy going, but it is very steep. Definitely need low range for it. They seem to keep it in good condition so it doesn't get too chewed out. And then once you get to the top, you arrive at a spectacular lookout out over the valley, back out over the Mann River and all the mountains around. All of the main Old Grafton Road is easy going. You can do it in a car, 2-wheel drive, so it is good to mix it up, get a few of these low range tracks in as well. The lookout and Tommy's Rock are named after Tommy McPherson. an Aboriginal man born around 1840, not too far from the area. For his time, Tommy was unusual as he was educated by the McPhersons, his adoptive white family. He could read and write and worked as a stockman in this area. He is widely known for his abilities as a horseman and an athlete. In 1877, Tommy shot and killed another Aboriginal man. A warrant was issued for his arrest and Tommy was captured, but escaped to live as a fugitive in the area. A good bushman, he easily evaded police and often visited local people. He was eventually shot dead by police 10 kilometres from the lookout at Bald Knob Hotel on February the 5th, 1879. The views from up here are amazing. You can see that's the Mann River down there, and that's where we camped last night, way down over there. The track up here is 4Ks, I think it is. It's quite steep, but it's well maintained. It's an easy going track, nothing hard. But then up the top, it's just the best views from up here. Old Grafton Road now towards Dalmorton and the Convict tunnel. We're going to check that out. It's not a bad drive, it's just kind of through the countryside. You're in between the mountains, you follow the river. A lot of it's farmland and properties. You got plenty of cattle, horses, different things out here. And a lot of it's just like open paddocks, but then you're always sort of between the mountains and the river's not too far away as well. We stopped back on the river there and had a little bit of lunch. Even though a lot of it is farmland and property, there's still plenty of spots to camp along the river and places to stop for lunch, have a swim, all those different things. The road winds along the edge of the mountains and you got the river down on your right, and then you're driving on this narrow road and you kind of got the view down the river down there and you got mountains on your left. It's pretty cool. You do have to concentrate a fair bit because it's a tight road and there's a lot of blind corners. There's not too much traffic out here, but I think we've only passed maybe 4 cars in an hour and a half on the road, 4 or 5 cars. And definitely not a heap of traffic. The Convict tunnel, not too far from the town of Dalmorton, is definitely one of the highlights of this road. And one of the reasons a lot of people come to this road to check out this tunnel. And when I say the town of Dalmorton, I mean what was once a town, it's now just a few old abandoned buildings. What do you reckon of the tunnel car? Pa drove off. He didn't realise that we were stopping. He kept driving.
I know. I saw.
Pretty amazing, this rock they cut off the side of the mountain to fit the road through. It's really muddy in here. After that Convict tunnel, we came a bit further through and turned right at the town of Dalmorton over the bridge over the river. And pretty much made our way all the way out of this Chaylunda, I don't know, it's kind of like Chaylunda National Park, some of it, Chaylunda State Conservation Area, some of it. We've just been going through the bush, I don't know, an hour and a half now, just driving through the bush. It's a long drive, you don't really see much, just kind of in the bush. But it's not too bad, the road's reasonable. Haven't seen anyone else out here. But yeah, we're heading through it. We think we might stay at the Chaylunda campsite tonight. I've never been there before, so we might go check that out. We'll just stop at this Sundew lookout now, have a bit of a look around. There was quite a few sidetracks in this area. We didn't really worry about them. It was such a long drive already just along the main road, and a lot of those sidetracks looked overgrown. I'm guessing they wouldn't really get much use, wouldn't be anything too exciting. We continued along the main road and headed towards the Chaylunda campground. It's just another lookout on the way to that Chaylunda rest area where we're going to camp tonight. Misty Creek lookout. That Sundew lookout was looking east, this one is looking west. We made it to this Chaylunda rest area.
My seat.
It's actually in the Fawkes River National Park. Never been here before. It's a nice spot, just kind of, there's no four-wheel drive or anything, it's just two-wheel drive track, dirt road out into the bush. And you got a big grassy open area here. No one else here. I don't think it probably gets a heap of use. It's a national park spot, it's paid camping. They got toilets here, and they got a
pit!
No, they got firewood. They got firewood up there as well, and they got fire pits and tables, little camp spots. Nice little spot. From the camp, it was about a half a k walk, I think, out to a lookout and a waterfall there. It was a pretty cool little spot. It was hard to see the waterfall a bit because you're up the top. I think you could walk further around and look back at it. We had a bit of a swim there, cool off. And then on the walk back, we even spotted a red-bellied black snake over the track. Snake up ahead.
Oh, wow. There's a snake. Oh, cool. That's how we're going to get up.
Alright. Well.
I'll light it.
I'm chilling, always with you. No time to hang with me. I'm chilling.
The next day, we packed up early, headed out of that Chaylunda camp and headed back towards the main road towards Dorrigo. We took a few sidetracks, had a great drive through the bush, a few little creek crossings, and that was the end of another awesome trip. It's time to head home. It was only a couple of days until Christmas.